Another decade, another Alien movie. These movies have been coming out for 45 years, basically the span of my lifetime. Alien Romulus in 2024. Is this movie any good? What did I think about it? I'll let you know after this. I've lost track of the Alien movies. I think there's been 7, including, the first one, Alien from 1979. Alien Romulus is about as close to Alien as anything in the series. In fact, it's pretty much a rehash, and this is both good and bad to me, a rehash of Alien with some smattering of pretty much every other movie in the series. And this movie's doing what I've been griping about for a long time, which is that Hollywood stars are getting older and older. Where are the younger movie stars? And finally, we have a cast here of a lot of young people, and that's different for the Alien franchise too, because famously Alien started with a bunch of middle-aged to older age people in that ship in the movie Alien, but this movie has younger people in it, and these are a group of, let's say, laborers on a mine colony, and they want to get off there because the mine colony, the corporation, keeps pulling them into jobs, including working in horrific mining conditions. So they find a spaceport somehow up above the planet they're on, which has a ring around it. That's significant. And somehow they launch into space and decide to go take over this spaceport that apparently nobody knows about and is empty and might have the cryogenic chamber they need to go 7 light years away to a system where they can basically escape. The lead in this is good, Kaylee Spaney, who's basically doing the Sigourney Weaver role. She plays a very young woman who has a brother, but it's an android. You'll find that out 5 minutes in. That's not a spoiler. This is one of my favorite characters in the series. His actual name is Andy, okay, but this is played by David Johnson, the android who gets to change personalities a little bit in the movie. And again, Alien is great, in my opinion, with android characters, including David from Michael Fassbender and Bishop and Rook and so on. So you get this, I think this is the most complicated android. I won't say it's the best performance, but I did really like the performance. The most complicated android so far in the Alien franchise. That's because his directive is to serve the girl, the woman he's with. That's sort of an Asimov iRobot thing. When they get on the spaceport, though, he's got to upgrade, and then he's going to give a new mission, a new directive by the sort of evil Cyberpunk Corporation, which all of you know, those of you who've seen the series, this Wayland Yutani, I think it's Yutani Corporation, that is out to bioengineer above, keeping humans safe, happy, and healthy. So basically get 6 or 7 people on an abandoned spaceport. They don't know what's on there. There's been a disaster on there. They go on there, and guess what's going to be on there? Yep, you guessed it. Now, when I call this a rehash of Alien, in a way it's an imitation. It does, opens with similar shots. It has a similar score, the same font in the opening credits. It's going to have a chest burster scene in the Sigourney Weaver stuff, with the main character. But I did like this movie still, even though it's a rehash. I tend not to like rehashes. I think part of the reason is I actually have a soft spot for the Alien franchise. I even kind of like Alien 3, director's cut. I even kind of like Prometheus. That's a majority of the movies. They're kind of demented Star Trek episodes. And I mean that in a good way. Like the merry crew of the Starship Enterprise shows up and all hell breaks loose when a giant xenomorph tries to attack them and it has acid for blood and explodes the Starship Enterprise. That's what an Alien movie in essence kind of is. And that's what this one is. It's going to be the first half is kind of sort of simulating Alien. Second half, a lot more aliens with a Prometheus kind of plot. And then at the very end, I was waiting for some new stuff. Okay, give me some new stuff. Give me a surprise. And while aesthetically, this is just copying the older stuff mostly. And I think the sound, I think the directing, everything's good here. There's no doubt about that. But it's a copy. There's not much new. There are a couple new elements to this, which I appreciated. One was science fictional and one was a horror movie monster. And so for that reason, I think this has enough surprise to keep people who kind of sort of like Alien, like me, involved. I thought this was quite good entertainment. I say that because in context, August 2024, in my opinion, the movie's been lame so far this year. I thought the end of last year was really good, 2023, but man, it's been a rough year for the movies and movie theaters. So probably in context, this movie looks better by contrast to movies I've seen before this that have come out. And yet, I think it's gonna survive or be, for me, probably in 5 or 10 years, I'll rewatch this. And I don't mind the movie at all in that sense because I think it's decently well made. It gets my heart pumping. It's got a couple scares in it that are pretty good, and a couple nice surprises, and enough intellectual stuff, science fictional stuff. Yeah, they throw in like what the androids are doing and the colonies are doing and all that. What's up with the bioengineering? This franchise is very low on bioengineering. They throw enough of that in to please me enough to say, this is pretty good. I hope you can read what I'm saying. You know, this is not a cinematic masterpiece by any means. It doesn't have aesthetic surprises that I want something new, some new vision. Then again, for new people, for young people, maybe they'll get in the franchise. Another reason I like this movie, you know, somewhat, is that it has human ingenuity in it. The human characters, have a little bit more, you know, choice and ability to get away from or stop the aliens. You know, that's sort of the case in Aliens, but not much. It's definitely a little bit more the case here with young people able to do this. And so that was a little more thrilling. Plus the android. Thank you, David Johnson. Great performance. Everybody did pretty good in this. David Johnson's excellent android character. Probably the thing I will take away from this movie and remember is his character. So all in all, the rating here, I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. It's probably 3.5 to 4-star movie. And I do that only because for me and for a few people I know, it's good entertainment. Okay, it's like heart-pounding, chest-bursting entertainment, okay? And that's the reason for my rating. I'm not saying this is like a Tarkovsky movie or anything, but this is not too bad. Now, what did you think of Alien Romulus? Do you want to add anything to what I said? What else do you have to say about this? Where would you rank it within the franchise? That would be an interesting question. I'm not sure if this would be, like, number 4 for me, maybe number 3. Number 3, 4, 5. It's somewhere in there in the franchise. It's not going to be Alien or Aliens for sure. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more great content. Thank you. Have a great day.